Alright, welcome in everybody. Today we have our last race of the pools phase of this tournament. We have Sweenerdog versus MrsGizamaluke. Looks like we picked Hot Top Volcano Plain for our first track, so we're just going to give our runners a countdown and get ready to get the race underway. So this is an interesting pick from Giz, in my opinion. I think just given how I've seen Giz talk about the strategy and everything in this tournament, might be an attempt to just block out hover on this track from Sweener. Right. So the runners have gotten the countdown. It'll take a little bit for the streams to catch up, but we should have the synced up in a couple seconds. Alright. So both of them going with drumstick. Probably the smarter idea. They're both pretty experienced here and probably know their way around both drumstick and TT. And I know that drumstick is the faster character on the track. Sweener with a slight lead, nothing huge, but definitely going faster out of the first lap. It's going to help him into the second lap as well. Looks like Giz is caught up though on that turn. Pretty tight match on this first attempt. Let's get the information under the runners updated. See what their PBs look like on this track. Looks like Sweener has a 58 and Giz has a 56, so Giz actually has the advantage here in terms of PB. But Sweener putting out the more consistent attempt. First try gets a really nice third lap. Might have been, no, it was a PB on this cartridge for Sweener, but I don't think it was an actual flat PB for him. So far Sweener set a sub 120 time. See if Giz can match that. Not exactly sure what a really good time is for players of these levels, so we'll have to see. I didn't see Sweener went ahead and did Ghostless, but it looks like Giz is going ahead and doing Ghostless, not trying to run against the Ghost at all. Or might have been for a different reason that Giz left the main menu, but definitely did have to step back. Ooh, Sweener taking a bonk on his third lap. Gonna be hard for him to match his first attempt here. Giz also taking a bonk. I don't recall any huge bonks on their first attempt, so far. these attempts not looking to match up with the first ones. However, maybe if Sweener hadn't backflipped there, he could have beaten his first time, but took a really lengthy backflip, rather. Cost him a lot of time. So let's see if maybe Giz can pull out something similar and not do the backflip. It's looking very possible for both these players to beat that time from the first round. It's just going to take something without a big bonk like that, and as I say that, Sweener taking a big bonk on the first lap. Doesn't have a lot of bananas either, so I'm going to take him a little more to get back up to speed. .25 first lap from Sweener. Maybe still possible to beat his time a little bit, but I think we should focus here more on Giz. See if Giz can beat down that time. He just has to roughly average a 23 lap, I think, here. And given that Sweener just got a sub 20, I see it very possible. .23 first lap from Giz, so it just has to match that or do better on any of these other laps. An 18 lap for a second lap from Giz. Looking good here to beat that first time from Sweener. Maybe the first 2 laps of warm-up really coming in clutch for him. Not the cleanest last turn, but he can still make this work. For sure. He's got 10 seconds left to work with, and 102. Really solid attempt from Giz there at the end. Looks like I have the players reversed. Oh, I missed a 59.75. Okay. Okay. That is my mistake. We'll switch the points over. In just a sec, I think we should get the winner. So we will have Giz, who got a 1 and 2 on their last attempt, but Sweener did get a 59 that I missed, unfortunately. But so Giz will be taking the pick here. Looks like he's checking out something in Future Funland. Get that point switched over. Star City card is what he was gonna end up picking.
Tonight, I'll be eating a pork banh mi with extra hot.
It seems like he's really trying to take his time and pick something that's gonna
We about to get spicy for this
that's
virtual
going
thing.
to counterpick Sweener, right?
Looking for
They're
Jonathan?
two players of
Hey, the
probably
camera
very
is
similar
staying
level
here.
at this point.
Not the second date.
So the more you make your picks count at this level, I think it's gonna matter a lot. Nice. Both streams still perfectly synced up. Helps me out a lot. He's taking an early lead here. Ooh, but bonks right into this, right as he's turning into the city, whereas Sweener does not. So this is looking a lot more even. In fact, the extra speed is going to take Sweener all the way through the city a lot faster than Giz. .2 seconds ahead. Not much to say here. Both players just neck and neck. Whoever makes the first mistake is just going to fall behind. And it seems like it will be Giz making the first mistake. Takes a small bonk there. Nothing huge if Sweener does make a mistake, but if he doesn't, he is in a deficit. Giz catching up a little there. Pretty close attempt here. Sweener clutching out by 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds. Very close first round from these players. We'll have to see how the next two rounds unfold. You can definitely see much better times out of both of them. Several bonks on both sides. Sweener getting a lot of air going down the ramp that time. First time was a 118, so with a 25 and a 24 lap, definitely on pace to beat that by a couple seconds. Barring any major bonks or something of the sort. Missing a zipper might be something else that could cost them that amount of time. Probably will not be 3 seconds though. Looking like a sub 115 even. See if we can get some game sound in here. Seems like Giz does not have it. Let's check on Sweener. Sweener does have game sound. fast. That is true. So yeah, Sweener with a 114 on his second attempt is going to be in the lead here. The onus is really on Giz here to beat a 114.83. Gonna have to get maybe a low 25 lap and then 224s. So let's see if he's on pace here. Maybe Sweener will drop the time this time though. He did miss a zipper on that last attempt. Sweener with a 113.80. So yeah, it looks like Giz did not get a 25 lap this first attempt. Gonna have to pull out a really good third lap, I think, to be able to match Sweener here. So that'll be the second point for Sweener. Ancient Lake Cart, taking us back to where it all began. By far the most played track on the time trial sheet on DKR64.com. So this is a track I don't expect to see huge mistakes on, so the little differences here are going to make huge differences. I don't expect to see anything worse than like 45 or something, barring like a miss zipper or something. That being said, this track can be kind of finicky to really consistently get the most speed out of the zippers and maintain it, keep good lines. Both players neck and neck going into the last turn. .42.30 from Giz versus a 42.40 from Sweener. Very close. So slight lead from Giz here. Pretty solid times, but we'll have to see if they can do better. Yeah, really close on that first attempt. I expect to see relatively close attempts. Maybe not this close, this is really close. But I expect to see pretty close attempts. Banger alert here. As much as there's different music in this playlist that we're using for the tournament, I mean, the best stuff is always the DKR stuff. Cannot lie. 42.60 from Sweener and a 42.11 from Giz, actually improving his first time. So Sweener gonna have to pull something out. Not going in the right direction. Sweener only getting one banana out of that bunch of 3. Not gonna do him any favors trying to catch up to Giz. Looks like he bumped into that tree a little bit too. Maybe just a quick drift. Wasn't really that easy to tell. .42-48 for Sweener is going to give Giz his first point in this match. So this is the first time we're going to see Sweener taking a pick. We'll have to see what kind of things he's going to look out for in this match. I don't really know how these players like to play their matches too much. Nor, okay, looks like we have Frosty Village card. But yeah, I don't really know how they like to pick at all because they were both in my pool, but I lost all my matches versus them, so I had no chance to see how they would counter pick at all. So this is interesting, getting to see how they counter pick each other. The first track, let me check on the spreadsheet for you. Hot Top Volcano Plain, where Sweener took it with a 59.75. Frosty Village card is probably one of my favorite card tracks. One of the longer ones for sure, but in time trials there's so little lag here and you just get really smooth jumps and it's fun to fly around here. Giz with a slight lead coming out of the first lap. Ooh, Sweener missing that zipper on the second lap. Not going to be great for him. Hear a lot of honking. He's obviously very content with this attempt. That is the sign of a happy gamer if I've ever seen it. Going for the jump. Doesn't work out, sadly. Maybe just trying something out. If I were him, I'd be pretty confident him and Giz can do better on both their other attempts, so I don't blame him for just messing around a little. Should point out this is our last card track for the first 9 tracks. It would be sick to see where the runners go for the salt cure and get it, actually save some time from it, but it's understandable that you wouldn't with only 3 attempts on the board. Yeah, you see Sweener here taking it a lot safer. So 107 is the time to beat here. I know attempts can get pretty close to sub 1, if not sub 1 level if you're someone like Kevez, so Let's see if we can see better attempts out of the runners. Ooh. Sweetener slips off the edge there and just gets flung up into the air. Gonna put a huge damper on his second attempt. Probably still on better pace than his first one, but nothing great. And I just saw Giz fly back onto the track. Not sure what might have gone wrong. Only 2 players have someone. Gotcha. So it looks like Sweetener putting down a 107.28. Gonna take the lead in this attempt. I don't know if Giz is on pace to beat that. Yeah, already passed that time, so. Sweetener putting down the pressure on Frosty Village. Making decent use of his first counter pick, but Giz still has the opportunity to turn it back around on him. I don't know if Sweetener had been doing it every attempt, but it looks like he goes for the extra banana there on that hill. I know that with the music off and everything else off, you know, with balloons and everything off, you can just fly past that, but having some bananas there definitely helps. Some extra bananas there. It's a long stretch afterwards, so the extra speed is nice. Ooh, Sweetener not able to control his speed there. He drifts into the wall instead of the zipper, so not quite gonna see a 104 out of him here. $106.95. So Sweetener has lowered the time to get here. Ooh, Giz was on really good pace to beat that, but we'll have to see if that's still enough. I don't think it is. He already passed the timer, so Sweetener's gonna take his 3rd point. Sweetener making good use of the car tracks. Takes 2 out of the 3. So we have used up our car tracks. Guess he's gonna have to pick either a plane or a hover track. It looks like it will be a plane track with windmill planes plane. I wonder if this is the kind of pick where he's trying to block something from Sweener, or if he just wants to start racking up points now, getting things that he's really comfortable with. So I think this is one of the longest time trials that we have in the game. Pretty sure it goes a little over a minute and a half. Both players did pick drumstick. He's gonna have one extra banana coming out of this tunnel. Small advantage for him. But he misses the second zipper, so going to be behind now. This is a long track, so a lot of opportunity for mistake for Giz. And Sweener. But not how you want to start out if you're Giz. I was updating some information on the spreadsheet and didn't see that Giz is now taking the lead. Sweener got a 38-second second lap, so maybe something huge must have happened there. Time for Giz was a 131. Sweener's getting like a 138 here. Expect we're going to see a sub 130. If not, Giz does have the advantage. This song really likes to come up on this playlist. I don't know what it is. Kind of a lot of energy for as long of a track as this is. There's a lot of barrel rolling, just keeping good lines, making sure you don't lose your speed. Ooh, Sweener taking a little of a dive into the ground there. Nothing huge, but it's going to cost him some speed for sure. Hits that zipper at a really weird angle. A lot of small mistakes on the second lap from Sweener. Plane is one of those vehicles where if you start making mistakes and you're not on the line that you're used to being on, you just start making more and more mistakes. Ooh. Another example there, Giz also took a barrel roll he didn't really want to take and then just bumped in more things right after it. This has been a potent counter pick from Giz in that it's definitely doing some stuff to the runners. Maybe not exactly what Giz wants, but it's making moves. So a 131.50 from Sweener on that second attempt is going to beat Giz's first attempt by a tiny bit. See if either of the runners can clutch out their sub 130. Sweener not on the hottest start, bumping into the ceiling with his barrel roll there. Commentator forgetting he muted himself a second ago. Oh, it has been a second. But yeah, that's Spaceport Alpha. This is a track I actually did not realize that you played with drumstick, but it looks like both players have opted for drumstick. Sweener coming out of the lap with 3 more bananas compared to Giz. We're very tied up now, but Sweener's speed advantage might make the difference here. Sweener getting shot here. Pretty unfortunate. I'm not sure if this is RNG or if it's cycles, but realistically in RTA, there's no way that you can predict the cycles. Can't be that consistent, so it's basically kind of random if you get shot there. You're taking a massive bonk right at the end. You're gonna concede the first round to Giz with a 128. Looks like both players' PBs are a 120 or lower, or a low 120 or lower. So, not sure what might have happened that attempt, or if it's just hard to get consistent times here. Sweener losing a lot of speed there. Not exactly too sure why. held A. See, Sweener here can match the time that's been put down. Looks like 129, so will not be enough to set a new best time here. Giz with a 36 lap might be out of the running for a time. Yeah, actually, definitely out of it now. Sweener taking a bonk in the vent there. Not a great way to start out your last attempt. These non-standard plane tracks can be brutal. Well, I guess Windmill Plains was a standard plane track. I guess plane tracks just can be brutal. Wait, this is one as well. What am I saying? Commentator very lost and confused. Plane is brutal. What it boils down to, I'm sure. So it looks like Sweener set at 127 with his last attempt. Giz is on a really good pace to beat that, but commentator discouraged right away. Yeah, he's gonna have to beat his previous attempts if he wants to take this point.
Here you are, sipping tea, listening to great music. Just
126.98 from Giz. He's gonna take himself his second point. Giz plays amazing for his age, yeah. I also know that he hasn't been practicing all that much. He was kind of a last minute addition to the tournament because Atomic wasn't able to compete. So, shoutouts to him for filling in nonetheless. Jungle Falls Hover. We'll have hover tracks for at least the next 3 tracks. I think, yep, definitely for at least the next 3 tracks. Jungle Falls, not Fossil Canyon. Fossil Canyon is banned. So that information updated. So we're going into Jungle Falls Hover with Drumstick for a second there. Would be a bold pick. And with that, we have all of Dino out of the way. This is a very common thing in this tournament, it seems. Either all of Dino will be played, or one of them will be a ban. Which is strange, actually, that a lot of them happen because one of them is a ban. Given that the other 3 are always getting picked, and it's not always the same one getting banned. I guess you're just polarizing picks, maybe. Players either want to take a point or avoid losing a point there. Ooh, big jump from Sweener. Gonna get him a lot of speed on the second lap, where he already had the better first lap, so. Guess with 6 bananas, is gonna struggle to catch up. .75 Sweener. Barely missed Giz this time. Look on the sheet. 53.06, so not too far off. But for now, the time will be 50.75 to beat. Sweener's still getting a lot of speed there, but didn't get the best line, so maybe it doesn't work out. Ooh, Giz missing one of the extra bananas, but he does go for them this time. I don't know if maybe he skipped over them last time, but he did have fewer bananas on the last attempt. Ooh, big bonk from Sweener there. 52.23 for a second attempt. Actually, looking at their PBs now, a 50.75 was a really solid attempt. Less than 2 seconds off his PB. Gonna be hard for Giz to take this point here. Gonna have to see something real nice. I don't think either player is on pace to beat the best time here, so probably looking like Sweener's point. Oh, this is a nice jump from Giz. So that will be the 5th point for Sweener. See what hover track the players decide to go on next. Snowball Valley. So something I didn't know about this track, and Giz actually taught me while commentating the other day, is that you can squish under the snowballs here if you catch the cycles right. On card it'll slow you down a lot, but on this vehicle, you want it to squish you out and push you forward. Ooh, Giz not getting the best boost right at the beginning there. Sweener just flying through his first lap. Both of them getting a good jump there. I love how TT just keeps saying unlucky and not again, because players are taking bonks that like really aren't all that costly because they're in hover, but the game still registers it as a bonk. Now mid 49 is going to set the time for Sweener here on the first round, because we'll have 2 attempts to try to come back on that. 3 gives you really want to avoid going down to match point here. It's very scary in a tournament where you only have 3, or in a format where you only have 3 attempts at any given track, beyond your last leg, so to speak. Whale C 48 says DKR Patty. Hopefully, we want to see the best play that we can see out of both the players, right? Maybe you don't want to see another tie like yesterday, but it would be nice to see them play both close and fast. Sweener getting a slower second lap than his first lap, and not always a great sign. In fact, usually not. Giz, however, with a 15 for his second lap. .48.51, Patty calling it out, and Giz says, I got you. So Giz now putting on the pressure on this track. Ooh, Sweener missing 4 bananas already on this first attempt and taking the bonk out of here. Not looking great for him to beat that 48 Giz just put down. Does get a nice squish out of the snowball though. So you can do 17 isn't really a terrible lap. Definitely not as bad as you would have expected for the amount of mistakes he made in 4 bananas short. .17 lap though. He's gonna put a huge damper on his chances here. Like quite possibly a point for Giz. So Giz making sure that we make it past the first phase of this round. For anybody that doesn't know, the first 9 matches have to be 3 in hover, 3 in plane, and also 3 in cart. But now that Giz has put himself 3 points. We're gonna see one free pick at the end. So this will be the last pick where the players are limited. And after this, they'll be completely free to pick anything that we haven't already played on. He's starting to make a little of a comeback here. Was down a fair amount, but now only down 2 points. He takes a point here. Sweener might be sweating a little bit. Both players looking pretty even. Ooh, gives us a really nice jump. I don't know if I've seen anybody in the tournament so far get that good of a jump there. Completely lost my train of thought. That was such a nice jump. Still neck and neck though. Let's see if Giz can pull off another jump like that. Both of them pulling off about the same quality jump. Yeah, this is great to see on this level. This is a track that can be super inconsistent. To see both players this close. It looks like Sweener's going to get a 116. Giz with a 118. Somewhere along the way, it looks like Sweener picked up 1 second faster laps. And that's going to make the difference for him there. Not a bad attempt for either player though. PBs here are only 113s. Actually really close PBs. They're only 1 rank apart. Giz does have the faster flap though, so maybe has the potential to make something work. Even if you get some less consistent laps right, if you can pull off a way faster one, that'll help him a lot. Ooh, Giz missing that zipper at the bottom of the cave. It's gonna cost him a lot. Doesn't hit the next one either, so he's kind of just snaking his way across the map. 28 first lap. Missing another zipper. I think Giz is just holding A for this attempt. Not 100% sure, but based on the speed and the lack of snaking, it would seem Giz is just holding A. Taking his time to appreciate the geometry in this level. Meanwhile, Sweener getting a nice connection there. Wasn't a great second lap for him, but maybe he put down a nice third one. Looking on pace to beat is 115. A 114.63 is going to drop the bar lower for Giz. Geez, you really realize how long these tracks are intended to be when somebody does something like this, right? A 34 lap, like basically mistakeless, right? Because you're just driving down the center of the level. Saving power for attempt 3, yeah, that's fair, especially in hovercraft. Very tiring vehicle, both physically and mentally, so can't blame him. Wow, insane jump from Sweener there. See what kind of first lap this is. Loses a little bit of speed there, but still a mid 26. Giz getting pretty close to Sweener's first lap here. I think a 26 should be more than enough to close out a 114 or lower. Just gonna have to get some real consistent second and third laps. Ooh, lost a lot of speed there. He did hit the zipper, but if you don't keep your speed fully through there, it can be rough regardless. Sweener gets a 116. Doesn't beat his best time, but pretty solid attempt. Really close to his first one. Is riding the wall here. Definitely not going to be Sweener's attempt, so 6th point for Sweener, putting Giz on match point. Haunted Woods car. Interesting. It's kind of a volatile track to pick for your last hurrah. Let's see if Giz can make it work. It looks like Giz is at a disadvantage as well when it comes to the PVs here. So let's see if he can make the consistency work for him and edge out Sweener. Just taking a bonk. So does Sweener. Looks like Sweener actually takes worse of a bonk. So Giz gonna be off to an advantage here. Ooh, Giz taking a bonk on the second lap as well, whereas Sweener doesn't. So maybe you're gonna have to be a throwaway attempt for Giz here. Actually, in the end, very similar times from both runners. Giz actually takes the advantage with the 46.31. Didn't exactly see what happened to Sweener, but a 15 lap, not quite the same as his 13-second lap. Yeah, it did as well seem like a really fast lap at the end from Giz. Capitalizing on Sweener's mistake, edging out that attempt by 0.2 seconds. Definitely had to go fast despite Sweener making the mistake. First lap though from Sweener is going to put him in a really good position to beat 46. Even if he gets 15s on all 3 of his laps, it's more than enough. 13, giving himself some wiggle room even. Ooh, big bonk there. He's taking him a second to turn around. And the last zipper miss is going to make him not beat his last attempt. Really unfortunate when you see that solid of a first and second lap. Just did not get the greatest first lap, but the second lap is relatively nice. I don't know if it'll be enough to put him in range. Ooh, that last zipper is as well going to ruin the attempt for Giz. Yeah, 46.78 is a nice time, but not the fastest attempt. Sweener bonking into the entrance of the tunnel this time. Surprisingly, the first time we've seen that. Taking a weird bonk at the zipper. Definitely still possible to beat that 46. Gonna have to hit the zipper. Looks like he does. 46-25. All eyes on Giz now. The Sweener barely sniping that last point. Giz is on his point, his tournament point here. This is gonna be the difference between taking the highest seed, or one of the highest seeds in the tournament, and being second seed in the higher bracket. The second tier seeding, rather. Looking really good here, though. Probably still even take a bonk, yep. See it there. He hits this last zipper especially, and is in a great position to take the point. Looked like a 45. 45-20 will be the point for Giz. Keeping himself in there. Yeah, Giz not super happy with his attempts, but at least gives himself another chance at getting some better times later on. Sweener's going to take his time here to really think through what he wants to pick. Last thing you want to do is start to see your opponent creep up on you in the points. Boulder Canyon. I don't know if I've ever seen Sweener do balloon or time trial here, but I know in the balloon race he's definitely really solid. So Giz still on a match point here. If Sweener does close it out, that will be the end of the pool phase for us. Pretty similar first laps. Looks like Giz has lost a little bit of speed here on the second lap. Gonna be a bit behind. But keeping himself in this attempt for sure. Keeping it competitive. That log is in a terrible position for Giz. That is probably the biggest difference. Sweener had a way better line that he was able to take. Ooh, and a really nice jump from Sweener on the last lap. Ooh, and then the other log coming in for Giz. Yeah, that log, I've said it before, but it's definitely my least favorite mechanic in this entire game. Barring, like, straight up glitchy things like ground clips and that sort of stuff. 117.80 from Sweener is going to be the time to beat here. Looks like that's really close to Giz's PB actually, so Giz is going to have to play super well. Almost half a second within his PB. Just looking at the players' PBs here, this is definitely a really strong pick for Sweener. 28 first lap from Sweener versus a 29 from Giz. Sweener looking very good on this track. Hulk is taking another logging, I guess. Gets turned around by the log that time. Oh, it seems like he's doing this on purpose. Okay. Just letting out some frustration. Understandable. We're seeing the right side strats here. Rarely seen strats. Ooh, the reverse into the finish line from Giz. Kinda swag. Manages to pull a full 180 before getting in there. So this is going to be the final attempt for Giz to try to take this point. Suri can of course try to improve his time, but the onus is really on Giz to get the better time. Both players are doing a really good job with bananas on their first lap. Sweener does get a slightly faster first lap. .24 lap from Giz on the second lap, and it seems like he's had a solid third lap, so possible clutch from Giz. A 118.93. Unfortunately not going to be enough to take the point from Giz, so GG's to Sweener. We'll have to see if the runners want to come in for interviews. We have Sweener coming into the booth. GG's on your win, man.
Thank you very much.
Any thoughts? Welcome to Giz as well. Seems like deafened for the moment, but
Hello, Giz. GG's. Thought that was a really good set. I liked all the picks, and I also didn't like all of the picks.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yep.
For interrupting. Okay, good. Because we have company over, so I have to leave the room. So I just want to see if my wireless headset reaches my bedroom.
Oh, cool.
All right. Yeah. So is Duke here? No.
yeah,
Yep.
you can hear
He's
you.
here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It kind of went down as I expected. I played really badly, I think. But not everything wasn't super terrible, but I'll give myself a 3 out of 10 quality-wise. Some of the picks I should have won. I was really salty about the Frosted Village one because I clipped into the ground of was swung into the pillar in the beginning and still got the 107.
Yeah.
That should have easily been a 105 or 104. Winter Plains was really, really bad. Should have easily had a 125-ish there. Yeah, I don't know. I was happy that I was able to win one hover track. At least that was more than I expected. But yeah, overall terrible gameplay from my side. But yeah, you clutched it so hard all the time, and except for one track or so.
Yeah.
Which was Spaceport Alpha, I think.
Yeah, and that one,
which-
I think Spaceport Alpha, I continually improved. I started at a 132, and then I got a 127, which I was really happy about. But you
Well,
clutched that one out.
Yeah, the main thing with that run was that I got a lot of bananas very early, so my first lap was pretty strong for being a one try. But then I fucked up so bad after that in the last lap. Oh well, in the second lap I was shut down, and the last lap I bonked into the, when you're going like through the zipper and then you go into the tunnel part.
Yeah.
I just hit the wing on the side, and it just came to basically a complete stop on there. And I thought it was over at that point, but was able to pull off like a mid-20 lap and got it.
I had
Yeah.
a lot of the plane tracks. I had that same problem kept happening over and over again. Like my laps should have been so much faster than they were, but you just clip the side of the wing wrong on the wall, and then you miss a barrel roll, and then you miss the next barrel roll, and it's like
Yeah.
just compounds into mistake after mistake. But
Yeah, I think Hot Volcano I played very weakly, and I was a little upset that you were practicing it before,
yeah,
because I kind of felt, when you ban one track and you pick one track, it's a little, you shouldn't practice the one right before if the opponent has picked the track. And yeah, I got a 1-1, which is pretty bad, but so I deserved to lose anyways. But
yeah, that's a bit of clarification I think we should find, because I've seen Obio do it, and I've seen a couple other players do it, and I do agree with you. It's a little weird.
yeah.
I was already there, and I knew I had about 1 minute to use my controller after a week and a half of not playing. So, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, it's just because like you want to use the pick as your for your advantage,
It's your
not like-
surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the opponent gets to practice it before, it doesn't really become your advantage anymore.
Yep.
So I was a little upset in the beginning, losing that one. And then, let's see, we played Star City Car. I had terrible gameplay all the way through there because I was a little salty. We got like a 115, which is complete garbage. You got a 113 though, which is pretty solid, and it's pretty hard to beat in a 3-try.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty happy with that. I was lucky that I had played that track kind of recently, like earlier this month, so some of that was still
Yeah.
sort of fresh in my head. But there are a couple other picks in here, like definitely. I think all your plane picks were really good, just because there's so much opportunity in them for bonk,
Yeah.
and I feel like they also protected you against some of your weaknesses. Like
Yes.
if
For
I
sure.
picked
Like,
Uma Plains Hover on you, I think that would have been a
No.
little rough.
yeah, I wouldn't have tried. I think, I know, but the thing is, I lost on it, and I should never lose on it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate just because of how close. It
Yeah,
was like
that's
130,
like-
170 something to 50.
Yeah. 0.2
close.
seconds.
Pretty
Yeah.
nuts.
And it was really bad. On the last attempt, I was I was on pace, and then I touched a windmill, and it slung me outside of the windmill, which is, yeah, extremely rare. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought your Ancient Lake pick was like really, really good because
yeah,
I know it's Ancient Lake car, but that is legitimately a weakness for me. I do not go, I'm not Joey there at all, and you would definitely have advantage on me there. Whereas
yeah,
I think
it-
many of the other car picks, we would have been a little
close.
evenly matched, if
Yeah,
not
I was thinking.
overtaking you a little.
Yeah, I was thinking about GV car.
Yeah.
But I think that's even though I think my potential is a little better in time trials. You're super consistent after all the practice you've done for OETR, all that stuff. So I didn't really dare to go there. Treasure Cave's car was one of that I was thinking about because I think that would have been kind of a 50-50. But I think Haunted Woods car was probably a good pick for me because I know that I'm not as consistent as a bio on it, but I know that I beat most players in consistency in that track, and in 3 tries, that's mainly what matters. And I was
Right.
able to pull off a 45, even though I fucked up the last lap really hard.
Yeah. I
was
tried to
like a
stay
second and a
away.
half on the last lap there. Yeah.
My strategy overall was I need to pick tracks. The ones that I do pick, I need to pick ones that I know I will have a very good chance of winning outright. Because I think it's hilarious that neither of us touched Space Dust.
Yeah.
Because there's not a single pick there that I think either of us feel really that comfortable with.
No. I think you would beat me easily in hover in the Space Dust, but I don't think you like it, and I think that you would feel uncomfortable. Like I think that if you just were out of it a little bit, you would maybe lose just because you were like it was in your head. But it's like Space Alley Plane is a horrible pick in general. Like you just it's too hard to do. Like
Yeah.
I mean, even the tracks that we were playing are hard, but Space Dust are just like 5 tiers above the ones we played.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So it's just way too hard. So
there are other picks. I made the Everfrost Peak pick because I didn't want
to pick car.
I didn't want to play car because it could have gone either way in car. I think you have you're probably a little bit more consistent than I am there anyway. So I thought don't know how well he'll do in hover. So I think that was a pretty safe pick too. But overall, I mean, when we got through the first 9, I was like looking at the like the pick board, and I was pretty happy with what was left. Like nothing else that you were like outright going to kick my ass in, and same went for me. Like, because that's in this kind of matchup. Like, I think we're going to see this a lot in the brackets. Like, this level of matchup. Like, if I play Kavess tomorrow or something, there is no right or wrong pick really. Like, he'll be able to figure out most of them. So it's more about what you are good at.
Exactly, and I think I was a little excited in Boulder Canyon there on the last attempt. I thought I could have it there, but I got so much lag on 2 zippers in a row that I knew it was over. Because I had a mid 28 first lap, which is mediocre, but then I had a mid 24, and then on the second lap, which is a pretty strong lap, and then I knew that I was on mid 117 pace, but yeah, lag on the zippers and a little weak gameplay got me a mid 25, and then I got the 118, 83 or whatever it was.
Yep.
But yeah, I was on the first 2 attempts. I got stuck on logs.
No.
So, yep. The first attempt was not as good as the third one, but it was still like a 119-ish run, and it was also destroyed on the second to last log. But yeah, I mean,
overall though, this was a good match. I feel. I mean, it kind of went back and forth a few times, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I knew I would lose because
I think I have a few updated mechanics that helped a lot.
Yeah. Plus, I think I am very unpracticed in general. Like, I haven't played much in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, plus you were gracious
so-
enough to fill in for this tournament.
yeah,
So,
I was not going to play because I know
Mhm.
that I'm disappointed. And I mean, the thing is though, like I know that you are in better shape than I am right now. I know that you're a real strong player, so I'm at least glad. Like in the beginning, when I lost like the first 2 picks, I was a little upset because I was like, please don't let this be like a 7-0 or 7-1, because yeah, but with 7-4, it's like it's acceptable.
perfectly respectable, I think, because there's just gonna be some picks that you won't be able to, like, you know. I don't think we've had a single match so far that's just been, you know, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4.
Yeah,
But
I just think like I haven't practiced hovercraft in like 2.5 years. And I think that shows a lot. Like I can probably beat most players in car, most players in plane, but in hovercraft against the top players, yeah, I struggle a lot. So I was happy that I was able to get 1 hover point, but I was unhappy with how many plane points I gave away. That's basically my biggest concern, or whatever you want to say. My biggest
mhm,
um,
disappointment, maybe.
yeah, disappointment for sure. My biggest disappointment of the match was my plane was terrible, especially with no
drumstick.
planes.
I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting.
I thought that would throw you off a little bit. Because
It
I was
kind of
thinking about
did.
yeah, I was yeah. I felt like that was good. I wanted to do that, but that's why I was so disappointed in the Wind Plains one, especially. Hot Volcano was just the track that I wanted to get rid of ASAP. That was just because I know that I will lose 100 out of 100 times to you and hover. So I just wanted to get rid of that one. But then, unfortunately for me, I played badly, so I lost there.
I do
But,
feel like there's some picks you could have beat me in. Like, if you went in Treasure Caves, however, I'm not really sure how well I'd do there. I feel like you probably have some good.
the problem is, I was thinking about it, but the few times I've been playing it, I was challenged there by Peaks, I think, or Dupe
Yeah.
or someone, and I got like 50, like a 50 as my best one, and I was like, 50 is not a good time. It's really bad. I should at least get like a low 49, and I got like a high 50. So I did not feel comfortable at all there. So if
Yeah,
I
I feel
were,
you.
oh well, we're talking for so long, but yeah.
Well, this is the last group stage match. After this, we are moving on to brackets. There will be an upper bracket and a lower bracket. I think both Giz and I are moving on, and
Yeah.
I think we might play each other again in brackets right
Isn't
away.
that weird?
It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. And just a quick announcement: we'll look into that more in a few hours here. Hoping to do just a quick stream to kind of talk about how the group stage went and talk about some matches. And then there's a couple other fun announcements that I want to put out there. So if you're watching now, we will be live again in about an hour and a half, 6 p.m. EST. And there'll be fun announcements. I'm really excited to show some stuff off. So hopefully everybody can come on back for that. And we'll see who I can find to join me on the stream as well. Because, yeah, might be interesting to do it alone, but who knows?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think our very own Musty is streaming right now. So I think we're going to be rating him. If you have DKR 64 races emotes, go ahead and spam those. And yeah, I don't know. Any last thoughts, Dupe or Giz?
No, not really.
You too. All right. Thanks, Stoop. Thanks, guys.